It's Footy Coach here. Let's get right to it and talk about the big FA Cup game of the weekend. Arsenal versus Liverpool. Arteta versus Klopp. What a great game it was. There's a lot being put out there about Arsenal's finishing by the journals today, but what they don't tell you is that it was Klopp that won this game for Liverpool. There's also a point to make about Arteta's coaching style, why it can be a problem, and I'll come back to that later. Let's start off with what was an incredible first half by Arsenal. Honestly, the pressing in that first half was immense. Their timing was spot on and they cut through Liverpool with ease. This was kind of a two-sided thing. Liverpool's starting lineup was missing some big players and Klopp seemed to have had his team set up with a front five. You could see how far ahead Gakpo and Jones were constantly ahead of McAllister. Just meant it was difficult for them to play through the press. Arsenal though, they didn't take advantage of that at all. Odegaard, Rice, Nelson all won the ball high up and they just failed to take their chances. Nelson, Odegaard, Havertz, Saka, all big culprits here. They could have won the game in this first half, possibly. I mean, they're still up against Liverpool. What I really liked from Arsenal in this game was Rice playing further up the pitch. I think he's been an amazing signing for Arsenal. Jorginho kind of playing alongside him, just gave him freedom to push forward and to implement that Arsenal press, which was so effective. Here's where Klopp comes in. Second half, he completely changed the setup. He saw what was happening in the first half, and this is why he's a great manager. He's managing his team throughout the game, making small adjustments to flip the tie in favor of his team. Nunez was pushed out to the left, Diaz onto the right, Gakpo, who was playing in that number 10 kind of thing, went up front. Elliott, who was in the right wing, moved back into midfield alongside Jones, and both of them played closer to McAllister. The first half, McAllister was totally alone. He was involved in so many duels because of that. In the second half, he didn't have to be. Having the two drop in made it better for him. Arsenal did create a few chances post this change, but notably it was just from set pieces rather than open play like in the first. Putting Nunez's raw pace up against White rather than him having to compete with Saliba and Gabriel was just brilliant. He ran White ragged in the second half. It didn't end with a goal or assist, but Nunez was immense, even defensively. The next change Klopp made was bringing on Jota for Gakpo and Gravenberch for McAllister. Gravenberch has been a bit iffy in his recent sub appearances, but he covers so much ground so quickly and allows Liverpool to be direct. He's also really good on the half turn, which is critical for a number 8. Jones dropped back into the 6. He's another who plays on the half turn and is comfortable on the ball. He did it for the England 21s over the summer and was immense. Jota though is the perfect player to play centre forward. He loves the niggly parts of the game more so than Gakpo, and he was constantly tussling with Saliba and Gabriel, both who'd already played 60 minutes. He drops into awkward places and pulls centre backs out to places they don't want to be. He was at the centre of the big chances that Liverpool created from then on. Arteta reacted by bringing on Martinelli for Nelson, but I'm pretty sure this was just one of those changes that was going to happen regardless of the score. Martinelli came on, took on Trent twice, only to be thwarted by the impressive Konate, and Klopp just reacted straight away. He put on 2 kids. Honestly, I believe a lot of people thought, well, he doesn't want the replay, so he's putting the kids on. It was far from that. Bradley is one of the quicker players in the Liverpool squad and the right back. This allowed Trent into the 6th role vacated by Jones, and Bobby Clark provided extra energy down that right side to also double up if needed on Martinelli. Change worked. Bradley shut down Martinelli and even got forward. Trent seemed to work even harder at 6. That's really it. They took the chances after that. They looked more threatening. Klopp adjusted, adapted, managed his team to a victory that even with their 10 absences, including 5 international captains, against a top team not really missing their stars. Before I talk about their respective coaching styles, let's talk about that Arsenal attack. Jesus, Saka, Martinelli have 11 goals between them. Adding Odegaard 4, Havertz is 4, and Nketiah's 5, 3 of them in one game. Trossard 3, Nelson 0. That's 28 Premier League goals between 8 players. Compared to the Liverpool attack, Mo Salah has 14 alone. Nearly half of Arsenal's Premier League goals are from set pieces. Diaz has 3, Nunez 5, Gakpo 3, Jota 5, even more considering all comps. The Arsenal attackers are certainly way more prettier on the ball than the Liverpool attackers, but those 5 are way more effective, having scored more goals than 8 of the Arsenal's attackers. Jota and Gakpo look unorthodox running with the ball. Their decision making at the end of it is just more efficient. The Arsenal attack has no bite, unfortunately. Great at taking players on, end product lacking, 61 shots in 3 defeats and 1 goal. It's just not on. When it comes to Gabriel Jesus, he's been underperforming his XG for many years. He's an enigma as a number 9. Seen reports of Arsenal wanting Ivan Toney. That's interesting, as that would mean, I think, a shift in the way they play. On to Arteta, he didn't change the way Arsenal was set up in this game, even when they went down and the game was slipping away. This is his way, his coaching style, and I think it comes from where he's learned his trade. He learned his trade under Pep. Pep is the master of control and his teams dominate games. For Pep, the way it works is if plan A works 99% of the time, why do I need a plan B? That's what Arteta has learned, and as his team has got better, I feel he has started to apply that. His post-match comments about what he thought was his team's dominance reflects that. Personally, I think Liverpool were the better side in the second half, and that's down to the genius of their manager making changes throughout. Now Arsenal only have the League and Champions League to play for, whilst the man in the other dugout is aiming for 4 trophies. As it's the FA Cup, just a note on Maidstone United, what a win. They were relegated last season to the National League South, stuck with their manager, and won this weekend to get into the 4th round of the FA Cup. What a story. Congratulations to them. Let's hope they can keep it going, because that's what football is about. As always, if you've enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it, and it helps me grow. Thank you for watching.